Welcome to another Sunday morning conversation. This morning, my guest is professional triathlete Ellie Salthouse. She's had an interesting career in her young age, and she's developed into one of the elite pros at the 70.3 distance. Thanks for joining, everybody, and I hope you enjoy her story.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
It's a day in the life. I just started training again, so actually feel pretty good. Yeah, I went on like 6-month COVID hiatus.
Yeah, how's it going over there?
I mean, be glad you're over there.
Yeah, a bit of a mess.
Well, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. We'll see how the election turns out, and maybe things will turn around. But if it's 4 more years of this shit show, we might not race in the States for a while.
Yeah. When is the election?
I think it's like let's see. It's first Tuesday in November, so it's going to be the 3rd. So 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But voting's already started, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if things don't change, we won't be racing for a while because they don't take it seriously around here. So I don't know how it is in Australia.
Pardon?
I don't know how they take it, how you're handling it over there.
Yeah, well, we're pretty good over here, actually, to be honest. Where I live in Queensland, we have 0 cases. We've had 0 cases for the last, I think, 3 weeks. So we're pretty much in a little bubble here. And then Victoria had an outbreak, but I think they've been pretty good at bringing it back down. So I think they're pretty well back down to 0 cases now as well. So, well, 0 new cases. And then, we'll start opening up the borders internally again in the next few weeks. And then, and we're pretty lucky here.
So in theory, you could start racing again if Ironman starts putting on races down there. Since it's about to be.
Well, yeah, we've already had 2 races down here. So we had 70.3 Sunny Coast not long ago, and then Ironman Cairns 2 weeks ago.
Are you in race shape, or
Yeah. So I'm going to race Harvey Bay. We have a PTO, or actually, I'm not supposed to say that. One of the races that we have coming up is the Harvey Bay 100. It's going to be announced tomorrow, but it's going to be backed by the PTO. So that's only
this
4 hours.
Going up for tomorrow.
Yeah, 4 hours north of here. So, I'll be racing that. It's in 4 and a bit weeks now.
So how has your training gone since COVID? I mean, did you kind of taken it easy, or have you just kind of been going on? I mean, I know you've had injury issues over the years, so I figured you'd be one of those people to kind of go lighter just to, prevent injury.
No, I've been pretty much, I didn't really change too much initially just because I wasn't really sure what was going on. So I kept everything fairly as normal because I wanted to be in race shape just in case races did come back on the horizon quicker than we thought. But yeah, once races at the end of the year started getting cancelled, we backed off a little bit, but I got really diligent with my strength training and all those kind of things that sometimes slip a little bit during the season. So I was able to work on all those things that I wouldn't normally pay that much attention to in season. So it's been a little bit of a different focus, but it's still focused and intense and ready to race when I need to be.
So how do you like living in Boulder part of the year? I mean, obviously you can't get there now, but.
Yeah, well, it's amazing. I mean, it's pretty much a training mecca for triathletes. So it's got everything you would need: trails, all the mountains and quiet roads you would ever need, and pools. So I love training there, and I really miss being there this year. It's been actually really hard not being there because it's the one place that you can go and just eat, sleep, breathe triathlon and just basically put yourself into a bubble of just training and use it as a base to easily get to races. So I really miss being there, and I'm looking forward to being back next summer.
Now, do you rent a place while you're up there, or did you actually buy a place?
Well, actually, I have kind of what now I consider my American parents. I've lived in their basement for about 6 years now. So yeah, I mean, they're almost like my American family. So I live with a couple there, and I live in their basement. So yeah, it's a really great setup, and I'm really lucky to have them.
How'd you meet them?
Actually, on the next door, the online notice board, I think it's called Nextdoor.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I just posted an ad there a while back saying that I was looking for a room or, you know, something to rent to stay for the summer, and that I was an athlete and I'd be training there. And they replied and met up with them. And then that's how it happened. As I said, I've been there 6 years now, and now they're practically family. So yeah, very lucky.
That sounds awesome. Pretty
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
Yeah.
So going into 2021, what does your race schedule look like?
I'm not entirely sure yet because most of the pro races are still to be determined. Obviously, it's still a bit of an unknown as to whether we'll be able to start racing again and where. So I'm hoping to race. Well, I'm going to race the Harvey Bay 100, as I said, in a few weeks, and then I'll race the PTO Championship in Daytona, December 6th. And then I don't really know. I'm hoping to be able to race in January in Dubai. And then from there, it's kind of all up in the air. I usually race Geelong and then 70.3 Oceanside, St. George, and coming to the US around the end of March, early April. So yeah, I'm hoping that everything will be back on the schedule as normal next year, but we really have to just wait and see. And it's really hard to plan ahead at this stage. So yeah, I can only tentatively book a couple races in, but yeah, at this stage, I'll just see how it goes, keep training. But yeah, I'm aiming for Dubai in January, and then we'll just see what happens.
I'm actually also supposed to go to Daytona. I signed up for it in February before COVID hit. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how well you know Florida, but Florida is Florida, man. And, you know, it's a different world down there. So we'll see how that works out.
I've heard it's a little bit of a COVID hotspot, actually. So I'm a bit nervous myself flying from almost a COVID-free country to a hotspot. But yeah, I think it'll be worth it. The PTO are going to do a great job at putting on an amazing event. So yeah, I'm sure we'll be safe.
Florida has opened up everything. They are, you know, regardless of what's happening with COVID, everything's open, full capacity, restaurants, bars, you name it, it's open. So we'll see how that pans out.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I mean, I am undecided whether I'm going to actually go or not, just because I went on such a long break. So when are you thinking about? Do you have any visions of Kona or making the jump to the full distance, or are you content with the 70.3 and just being that kind of person?
Yeah, I think right now I'm definitely just content with the 70.3. I'm still really young in the sport. I'm only 27, so I think while I still have that speed and still have that love for the shorter, faster distance, I think I'll definitely just stick to 70.3. But maybe further down the track, as I start wanting a new challenge, I think that maybe Kona or maybe just an Ironman, I don't know yet, might be on the horizon, but no time soon.
Do you see yourself doing any more challenge races? I know Rev 3 doesn't exist, and I only saw one of them on your schedule. Well, they do, but they don't. But I mean, do you see yourself doing more challenge races like the championship or some of the other ones in your region?
Yeah, I mean, I love racing the challenge races. It's just not that big in the US or North America. But yeah, I mean, last year I raced in 2018. Last year I raced in Cancun. I raced Challenge Cancun, which was an incredible event. I was hoping to be back this year, but not the case. So yeah, I mean, I love racing them when I can and when they fit as to where I am in the world. But yeah, every year I do the championship in Slovakia, and then this is obviously the first year that they've had the world championship in Daytona, so I'll be there. And then Yeah, I'm always looking for challenge races. They look after the athletes so well. That's one great thing about challenges. They love the athletes. They love the professional athletes. They treat everybody, equal. They treat everybody so well, and that makes you want to race the races, and it makes you want to keep coming back. So, of course, I try and race them when I can.
Yeah, I actually wrote an article about them back in, I think it was April, predicting that the next race that they were going to make is another NASCAR track. They were going to make a NASCAR series, and I just kind of scoped out all the possible courses and where they could swim. And lo and behold, like 5 months later, I was right. Do you think you'll end
Yeah.
up going to Miami?
Next year in March.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think it will depend if I am in the US or not. March, usually I'm still here, but maybe I could make the trip over a little bit earlier. I do love racing in Miami. I've won the 70.3 there twice, so it brings back great memories. So I hope so. If I'm in the US, yeah, I definitely look at doing Miami.
So I guess really the only thing I have left is, what are your like short-term and long-term goals or ambitions?
Well, obviously the biggest one is to win 70.3 worlds. I want to be a world champion. That's the biggest goal. That's why I do this. That's what gets me up every morning. So yeah, obviously that's the big goal, no matter whether that's a short term or a long term, I don't know. But yeah, at St. George next year, I'll be definitely looking to take the top step on the podium. Yeah, and then that's kind of all I've got right now. As I said, I don't know how long that will take me to achieve, but yeah, that will always be the goal. And once I've achieved that, then I'll add some other goals and reassess. But I just love the sport, and for as long as I'm enjoying it and loving it and loving being a triathlete, I mean, I'll always be in it, and I'll keep setting myself goals as I go along, and just until I achieve them.
So when the 70.3 Worlds come back to New Zealand, since they got skipped over this year, do you feel like that course and the fact that it's right across the water from you, does it feel like that has kind of an advantage for you, or do you think it's kind of a negligible type thing?
Well, I think it's interesting because even though I raced in Taupo a number of times, the course is always different for the world champs. So they haven't released it yet. They probably won't release it until the end of next year, or if not early 2022. So I don't actually know the course. I assume it's going to be very hilly, considering Taupo is quite rolling or hilly. But it is beautiful. I'm very lucky to have it so close. So I think that'll be an advantage in that, I won't have to deal with jet lag or any of that. But I don't think that it will have too much advantage, considering I've never raced on the course before. I think it'll be a pretty even playing field. I'll try and go in there a few weeks ahead of the race, or a few months ahead of the race, actually, so that I can get to know the course really well before race day. So I think that will be a huge advantage, but I mean, anyone can do that as well. So I don't think I'll have too much of a leg up on anybody else.
So when you go out there that early, do you use the Nextdoor app again?
No, I just usually go Airbnb. I'd never used the Nextdoor app actually until I found my American family. But yeah, that was the only time I've ever used it. Usually I just Airbnb, or it seems to be working so far.
Well, that sounds great. Well,
Yeah,
Ellie, thanks for talking with me. I appreciate it.
no problem.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. Thanks for taking the time to chat.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, guys, for watching another Sunday morning conversation. If you liked what you saw, please do like and subscribe. And if you want to see more of them, click the little bell notification and it'll tell you whenever I post another one. Thanks again, guys.